The name Julius Caesar is one of the most powerful in history, still being used by major European powers for their leaders nearly 2,000 years after his death, and a month is named after the legendary Roman general and dictator. But how did Caesar become such an epochal figure in the first place? Caesar's rise began as it always did in the Roman Republic, with military glory. Over the course of a decade, the 50s BC, Caesar subdued and conquered all of Gaul, or modern-day France. With his adept strategic mind, he used diplomacy when he could and force when he had to. The seeming ease with which he took over one of the most resistant peoples in Europe led to him saying, Veni, vidi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. Because of the massive gain in land for the still relatively young Rome, those in power respected him but also saw him as a threat and banned him from returning to Rome itself. In a stunning defiance of their order, on January 10th, 49 BC, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River between Gaul and the Italian peninsula, saying, the die is cast. To this day, crossing the Rubicon is a phrase signifying an irreversible decision, and the civil war had begun. How did Caesar defeat the entire rest of Rome, though? For one, his army was completely loyal to him, and they were much more experienced than the troops which his opponents, mainly Pompey and Cicero, had. They even compared him to Hannibal, Bane of Rome. Also, the people didn't do the Roman government many favors, because by now those in power weren't exactly popular due to copious corruption, in the Senate and elsewhere. Caesar quickly took over the entire Italian peninsula, and Pompey fled to Greece. Caesar pursued and defeated him at Pharsalus, and then Pompey was shockingly assassinated as soon as he reached Egypt. After wiping away the remaining resistance, Caesar was on top of the world as the dictator of Rome. In 44 BC, he was famously assassinated on the Senate floor, sparking another civil war and solidifying his place in history forever. Though it ended in the same blood it was steeped in, the life of Caesar was one of the most impactful in all of history and represented a tipping point in arguably the most influential society ever.